Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be creating this 3D isometric book cover. For this design we are going to be using the standard A4 size. We are going to click on A4. We have the dimensions here, and for the bleed we are going to set it at 2 millimeters. Press on 2, just click on somewhere around here, make sure this link is connected, and for the color mode we are going to make sure that it's on CMYK, not RGB. Just set it at CMYK. Leave everything, the raster effect at high and the preview mode default. Just create. First thing we need to do, we are going to be creating the background for the book cover. So by using the rectangle tool, press M on your keyboard. We are going to be creating the rectangle tool by clicking and drag to form the rectangle shape like this. Or instead we are going to delete this. We are going to be clicking, just left click on your artboard while the rectangle tool is selected. Click, and for the width you can set it for the standard size. For the width we are going to set it at 2 by 10, and for the height we are going to be using 297 millimeters. Click on OK. We now have something like this. We are going to align this shape with the artboard. Go back to your selection tool, select this artboard, make sure it's selected. Go to your align tool, align. We are going to align it to the artboard. Click on align to artboard. We are now going to be aligning this. We are going to be aligning this shape that we created while holding down the selection tool. Go to your align and horizontal align, and then the vertical align, or something like this. We are going to be changing the fill color. We are going to give it a purple color. Let's select this. Go to your color mixer, or you can set in your color. If you have a color combination, you can just give it. But for this, I'm just going to just make my own. Maybe something lighter, just something like this. For the book cover, it has to be a little dark, something like this. Just something like this. Drag this, make it lighter. Let's say 60% for this, and this 5%. We now have something like this. Let's use this color. We are now going to lock the background by pressing Ctrl 2 to lock it. We now have the background locked. We are now going to be creating our text using the type tool T, shortcut key T. We are now going to be creating a text box. Just click and drag. We now have something like this. We are going to expand to adjust the size, change the size, make it bigger. Let's say 72 points. While the text are still highlighted, type in, let's say, thrilling. I'm going to be typing thrilling. Highlight the text, change the font size, make it bigger. You can type it. Let's type in, let's say, 85 points, say 100 points, 150 points there. Press escape, adjust the text box while holding down the alt key. I'll have something like this. Adjust it a little more. We now have something like this. We are going to be changing this font. We are now going to be changing this font. Go to your fonts. We are going to be using this font Acumen variable concept. Press the down arrow. We are going to be selecting the extra condensed bold for this. Click on it. Press escape. We now have something like this. Adjust your text box. Select and just drag. We now have something like this. Using this, we are going to duplicate this while holding the Shift plus Alt and click and drag. Edit this. We are going to be typing cities. That will be thrilling cities. Press escape. Adjust text box while holding down Alt key. Have something like this. Press escape. We are now going to be changing the text effects. To do that, we are going to expand this text first. Select your text, go to your object and click on expand and click on OK. We have now expanded this. We are now going to be editing this. We're going to isolate this text by triple clicking. We now have something like this. This is the only text that is isolated now. We are going to be giving an isometric effect for some of the characters here. We are going to be selecting H and this I, two of the I, and then the N, like this. We are now going to go to our effects at the menu up here. Go to 3D. We are going to be using the rotate to rotate them using the isometric axis. Click on rotate. We are now going to go to your position. We are going to be changing position by clicking on isometric left. Click on your preview. You now have something like this, and click on OK. We have now made this H and both of this I and N into an isometric left. We are now going to do this for the T, R, L, L and the G. Go back to your effects, 3D, rotate, select preview, and let's select the isometric right. We now have something like this. Click on OK. We now have something like this for the text. We are now going to expand the text so that we can make this into a shape. For now, it's still a T. It's still this character, this outline. It just has this effect on it. But we are going to now expand it to make this into a shape. Go to your objects, expand appearance. We now have this into a shape like this. You can select each of these characters and just move them like this by clicking and dragging. We are now going to press escape. Bring this city down just like this. Select your text like this. We are now going to be arranging them as we wish. We are now going to isolate it. Triple click on it. We are going to arrange them by dragging them something like this, somewhere around here in the H, the R, then the I should be somewhere around here, and the L, both of the L's. Let's click them. This we are going to arrange them something like this. The N should be just beside the I, and then for the G, there's the G somewhere around here. Now have something like this. Click on this, drag it, and now have something like this. Press escape on your keyboard. We are now going to be giving this text isometric effect. Go to your effects at the menu. We are now going to select 3D. Go to your rotate. Click on preview. Change the position. We are going to be using this top, isometric top. We have something like this. Press OK. We now have something like this. We are going to be rotating this. Let's rotate it by 90 degrees while holding down your shift key. We now have something like this. We are now going to change. We are going to make this effect into a shape. As for now, you can see these outlines. That means it's still this shape. It's just having this effect. We are now going to make this effect into a shape of its own. Go to object and click on expand appearance. We now have something like this, and this is for the shape. We now have cities like this. Expand it to have something like this. Click and just drag. I'm going to arrange it like this. Select this text, just bring them somewhere around here. We are now going to be aligning this text, just something like this. Let's fix this arrangement. Triple click, select the T. I want to bring it somewhere around here. The H somewhere around. Let's adjust them. We are just going to randomly adjust them just to give a meaning for what we are doing. Triple click. I'm going to arrange them. Something like this. In the L, the I around here. For this L, it should be around here. I'm going to change this to position. Let's see, or let's say something like this. Click on this I, place it here. This N, place it around here, and for this G, we now have something like this for the drilling. Something like this. With the R. Bring it H. Use your arrow keys. Bring it just something like this. Select this T and H and just something closer. Select while holding down. While the T, H, and R are selected, click on Shift. Select both of these and just want to eliminate these spaces. Now have something like this. Press Escape. Highlight this text and just expand them. Something like this. Place them around here. Now have something like this. Adjust this size. Let's adjust this text using the arrow keys. Now have something like this. Highlight them. Right click, group them all. Use the alignment to align them. We now have something like this. We are going to align them to the add point, not the selection. Click on here, right click, and then click on your group. We now have something like this. We are now going to be creating a line just to cross around here on these points like this. We are going to create a line using the pen tool. Select your pen tool, click on just somewhere around, let's say here. Just drag your pen like this. Well, you can hold on the shift key. No, the shift key will give 45 degrees. So let's undo this. I'm going to be using this cities line, or let's use this L line. Click somewhere around here, or somewhere, let's say around this L, and then something like this. We now have something like this. Press Escape. Change the fill with the stroke. Shift X. Go back to your direct selection tool A. We are now going to be dragging this point like this. Drag it. Something like this. We now have this line. We are going to be adjusting this line. Have something like this. Adjust it. Just closer. Click and just drag it just a little bit like this. Click, drag it. We now have something like this. Go back to your pen tool, P. Click on this point. We are going to be making a shape just like this. We are going to change the stroke with the fill. Shift X. We now have something like this. Press V on your keyboard. Then click. We now have something like this. Press Escape. We are going to be selecting this shape. select on only the shape, and then lock it by pressing Ctrl 2. We have now locked the shape. Just hover somewhere around here, you see your cities highlighted. Click on it. We are now going to right click, because we are not seeing. If we select, we'll be seeing this shape instead of each of the cities outline. That means there's something wrong with this. Right click. We are going to first ungroup them. Click on somewhere around here, click it back, right click, and then we are going to now release the clipping mask. We now have the cities like this. Right click again, go to your arrange, and then bring them to the front. We are now going to be changing the fill color to white. We now have something like this. I'm just going to select this box and just drag it, and then press delete on your keyboard. We now have something like this. We are going to just arrange it, just something like this. We now have these cities like this. We are going to be changing the color of this by going to fill, or instead we are going to be using the eyedropper to copy this exact same color. Press on I on your keyboard, and we are going to click on somewhere around here. We now have this color of the cities. Click on V, select this text, and I'm just going to arrange it something like this. We now have something like this. Let's move it back, or highlight it. We are going to isolate this text and edit this G. Triple click, select the G, then use your arrow key to just move it, just edit it backward and higher. Make it higher like this. Press escape. We now have something like this. Okay, now we are going to change this arrangement. We're going to just tweak it a little bit. Select this text, isolate it by triple clicking, or you can right click and easily go to isolate selected group. Click on it. I'm now going to be arranging it. Select this H, move it, let's say, to align with this T. Click on the R, move it just a little bit higher, something like this. Select this L, something like this. Select and just click and drag. Now something like this. Drilling. The eye should be somewhere around here. The G, you now have something like this. For the drilling, press on escape on your keyboard. You now have this. We are going to be creating a shape using our pen tool to connect this text with this dark background. For this, we need to select this text and press on Ctrl 2 to lock them. Go to your pen tool, P, and we're now going to select this first. We're going to be clicking on this point. We're going to be making a shape. Just click on somewhere around here. Click to connect these points. Something like this. We are going to be switching the stroke with the fill, Shift X. We now have something like this. We are going to get rid of the stroke color. Go to stroke and change the fill color to none. We now have something like this. You want something that will be straight, and we need to have a perfect shape for this. To do that, press on V. We are going to be deleting this. Delete it. We are going to be creating a shape of this width using the rectangle tool M. Click on M, go somewhere around here, click and drag. We have something like this. Change the fill color, say white or something ash. Press on V on your keyboard, drag it somewhere around here. We are going to change the height, something like this, We now have something like this. Instead, simply delete this. Instead of locking this, unlock. We are now going to be creating a shape to connect this text with this background. To do that, we need to create a straight line for this. The easiest way to do this is just we can select this eye, click on it, right click, and ungroup text. We are going to be needing this eye. Click on the eye. While holding down the Alt key, we are going to click and drag it, something like this. We are now going to select back our text, click on these shapes, and then group them back, Ctrl G. We are going to remove the stroke for them, remove, and for this as well, we are going to be removing the stroke. We now have something like this. Click on this shape, change the fill color to black. To have something like this, we are now going to just connect this two. Just click and just adjust them like so. We now have something like this. For the T, we are going to do this as well for some characters. Click while holding down the Alt key. Place it somewhere around the R. Something like this. Just place it, click and drag to align. Zoom in, click and drag, align it. Perfect. We now have something like this. We are going to be duplicating this again, but first let's resize this. We are going to be cutting this like this. For this, we are going to create an anchor point around here using the pen tool. Select your pen tool, create an anchor point just around here, another one around this point. We are now going to be selecting this anchor point. This, while holding down Shift key, select these two anchor points and press on delete on your keyboard. We now have something like this. Press on delete. Delete. We now have something like this. We are going to be duplicating this as well. While holding down the Alt key, we are going to resize it. Something like let's adjust this L. I select it, triple click, and then adjust it like this. Escape. Let's duplicate this first long shape. While holding down the Alt key, we are going to place it somewhere around here. Something like this. Duplicate it, place it somewhere around here. Duplicate again, place it somewhere around here. We now have something like this. Because of this shape is at the bottom of this text, that's why it's not showing on top of this text. If it's showing on top of this text, you are just going to select this and right click and just bring it to the front. Now we're going to duplicate this again, somewhere around, see here. We're going to be duplicating this again, somewhere around this L, while holding down the Alt key. Something like this. We're going to be creating another shape. Let's duplicate this, click and just drag it somewhere around here. Click and drag while holding down the Alt key. I select it, triple click, go to your direct selection key click on this point. While holding on shift key, click on this. We are going to be shifting this line, click and just drag it. Something like this. We now have this shape. We are going to be duplicating this shape. Press V, click and drag while holding down the Alt key. We now have something like this. You can drag, adjust it, go over here while holding down the Alt key, resize it like this, just give it an effect, like this, duplicate this, press escape, let's see, we now have something like this. Let's resize this like this, something like this, to give it a city effect, somewhere like this. We have like buildings coming out. Click on this, duplicate it, place it somewhere around here. We are going to make this, duplicate this and just place it somewhere right here. Duplicate again, place it right on top like this. Let's adjust it. Something like this. We now have something like this for the book. Thrilling cities. I'm now going to be creating a shape inside of this text. To do that, we are first going to lock everything. Select all by pressing Ctrl A, right click, or instead we are going to be using the shortcut while everything is selected, Ctrl 2. We have now locked everything. We cannot select anything here, we cannot select anything. Let's add the effect on top of this text. To create the effect, we are going to be using, let's use the pen tool, P, and this, we are going to be creating a shape. Let's create this shape somewhere so that it will align with this. Let's create it somewhere around here by holding down Shift key, something like this, and then close the box. We are going to just arrange this, make it something like this. Change the fill. Okay, we didn't connect this. We are going to connect it, then just adjust it like this. Change the fill color to white. We want to create. We are going to continue go on top. We are now going to be using these shapes to create a window effect. Adjust it, something like this. We are going to place it right here. We are going to be duplicating it while holding down Alt key somewhere around this T. Let's duplicate one. Now something like this for the T. Seems like the shapes are too big. Undo. Just resize it a little bit, just down it. Zoom in. Something like this. Let's duplicate it by holding Control, click and drag. Control, click and drag. Control, just click and drag. Have something like this. I want to be placing it as well on the R. Somewhere around this L. Duplicate by holding the Alt key. Click and drag. 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 And drag. Click and drag. Let's reduce this. We are going to select and delete. It's too much for this. Something like this. Click, drag on the G. Just a few windows. Something like this. And I have something like this. We are going to create another shape to use on this H because of the isometric effect facing towards the right side like this. That means we are going to be creating a shape using the pen tool. Click on somewhere around here. Just form the shape. Something like this. V, we are going to resize it. Something like this. Just a little bit more. Make something like this. I'm now going to be placing it on this edge. Just a few of it. Just spread it out. Something like this. Place it on this eye as well. Something like this. And this eye. Something like this. Adjust this. And then on the end, I'm going to zoom in. So something like this. We now have something like this. We are going to be selecting the shapes. Ctrl G to group them. We are going to be reducing the opacity. Change the opacity to, let's say, 50%. Something like this. Let's change instead to 75%. We now have something like this. Let's just adjust it. This one. Triple click to isolate and then just drag it. Press escape. We now have something like this. We are now going to be creating the author's name and place it right on top using the type tool T. We're going to click and drag. Change the font size. Let's say 10 points. We are going to be typing the author's name. For this, we are going to be using Vintage Fleming. Highlight the text, change the font size, make it bigger, 48 points. Press escape. We are going to be adjusting the name. We are going to be giving it space. To do that, go to your character under the properties, just adjust it by pressing the top arrow. Just give it a spacing like this. We are going to be changing the fill color as well. We are going to give it white, something like this for the name. We are going to be changing the font for the text as well. Highlight the text and go to your fonts and change. For this, we are going to be using this Futura black. I don't know if it's Futura or Futura. Just click on it. We are going to be changing the font. Just down it. Okay. Let's type in our font. Let's say 28 points. Press escape. We are going to adjust it like this. Okay. We are going to be adjusting the font size just a little bit more. Okay. Press on the arrow, just like this. We now have the name at the top. Just place it the way you like it, just somewhere like around here, like this. We now have this. Press escape, Ctrl 2 to lock it, and this is what we have. We are now going to be saving this raw file by pressing Ctrl S to save. Go to the folder you want to save it in. For this, we are going to 3D book cover design. Open it and then click on save. Press OK. We have now saved the file. We are now going to be exporting this file. To do that, for this split, we are just going to leave it like this. When we save it, it's going to appear as a white line. And we are going to leave the stroke for the background as black, so that it will give an effect to differentiate the whites and just to give you a line. Or you can remove it if you like, but this is how we are going to be exporting it. Go to your file, export, and select export as. We're going to be using this name. Move to just like this. Select JPEG, use artboard, click on export. Make sure the color model CMYK, quality at maximum, quality at maximum. Click on OK. Yes, replace. Let's see our result. And this is our exported raw file, something like this. And this is simply how to create a book cover design in Adobe Illustrator using the isometric effect, something like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Thank you guys.